What's going on, Born for Sports? It is 1 week away now. Officially, preseason's over, and it is time for New York Giants football. Man, I'm excited, y'all. I can't wait for the season. Can't wait to go against those hated Dallas Cowboys. But I want to talk about the season expectations. Now, we know the Jets have all the expectations right now in the city, and rightfully so. They got Aaron Rodgers, right? They got all that young talent they talking about, right? Well, listen, this is the way us Giant fans like it. Any real Giant fan knows that when we fly under the radar, we actually have better seasons. So I ain't mad about it. And, you know, all that hard knocks they playing and everything and that stuff down the road, we'll see them later. But I want to talk about these expectations of the season. I'm looking at this schedule, and I said months ago, this is a 9-10 win schedule, you know, off the rip. And I'm looking at after the 53-man, which we understand is fluid. We understand that it still moves probably may be made down the road. We look at the preseason. We look at, you know, the way the roster's shaped. I'm looking at this schedule, and I definitely see 10 wins on this schedule if the Giants, of course, avoid major injury, which goes for any team in the league, you know, barring a major setback. You know, we got a little depth issues in offensive line and you know, the secondary, but I'm pleased with what I saw in the preseason based on, you know, first of all, injury-free. Second of all, you know, the young players, you know, getting a lot of reps that are going to be counted on, it looks like. Hawkins and is going to be a starting corner along with Tay Banks and Adoree Jackson. Sounds like, you know, they're going to want Adoree Jackson to play the slot a lot this year, depending on matchups. You know, I wanted to see Cordell Flott win that job, but he didn't. So, and I never said I wanted him to just be handed it to him. So if he didn't earn it, so be it. You know, I trust his coaching staff. I trust Wink. So, you know, I want to see how they respond. I look at this season as with the young players in certain key positions, I like center with JMS, who I think is going to be a real good center, and with the corners, Tay Banks and Hawkins. Possibly, we'll see how Hawkins does against better competition. But Tay Banks especially, I feel like as the season goes on, they're going to be better. They're going to be a better team down the road than they are in week one, which is a good thing because as I get to week one in these first few games, I look at this as a 10-win team, at least. You know, I look at the first 4 games as crucial. You know, we get off to a good start, we should be in decent shape because, you know, we have a tough first half schedule. We got a lot of road games in the first 8-9 weeks. So I look at it like, you know, why not? Why can't we get off to a good start? You know, these teams aren't unbeatable. The NFC's wide open, right? So we got the Cowboys week 1. Then we got Arizona, who looks like a pitiful roster, and they look like they're tanking. That should be an easy dub on the road, you know. But we get a short week against the Niners, a physical Niner team. And even though I'm not sold on, you know, Mr. Brock Purdy yet, they are a talented, physical football team, and it will not be easy going there on a short week to beat them. It should be a competitive game, but it's not going to be easy, and that's going to be a tough one. Then we got Seattle on Monday night at home at MetLife. I don't see why the Giants can't go 3-1 in these first 4 games if we avoid major injury, of course, and you know our quarterback plays up to capability, and the pieces, you know, gel week to week. You know, I look at that stretch, no worse than 2-2 they can go. No worse than 2-2. 3-1 is ideal, okay? Then after that, the schedule gets tougher. No question about it. You know, the schedule gets tougher after that. We got Miami and Buffalo the next 2 games after that on the road. Sunday night will be the Buffalo game on the road. I'm looking forward to that game with the, you know, with former Bill employees going to Buffalo. They should be having a good competitive team. And then you got the Washington Commanders and Jets at home. So that's a tough 4 games right there, man. If they can go at least 2-2, you know, 3-1 would be ideal. But you know what? 2-2? Listen, 5-3 going into, you know, the second half of the season would be a great, tremendous thing because the schedule gets a little less tougher. You know, still some tough road games, but it's some competitive games at home that they will have to play in that stretch. You got Vegas on the road after that. You got the Cowboys on the road, which is tough all the time. Washington Commanders, Patriots, bye week, Green Bay. You know what? If they can get to December within striking range, that is a path for them to get to at least 10 wins in the playoffs. I don't see why there isn't, And in December, we got Green Bay on the Monday night at home, and then we got at New Orleans, which is always a house of horrors. The next 2 weeks after that are a house of horrors, I should say. At New Orleans, and as a Giant fan, even when we were on our Super Bowl wins, we always struggle in New Orleans, no matter what goes on. Even though we did win the last time we were out there a couple years back under Judge, but that's a tough place for the Giants to win. But that's a competitive team. So after that, also at Philly on Christmas, we all know what it is out there in Philly. We know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Philly is always going to be a problem. Always going to be a problem. And especially against that team. It's always going to be a problem out there, with the House of Horrors, with the talent they have over there. And in the last 2 games, you got the Rams at home on New Year's Eve, and then the Eagles at home in January. So I don't see why they can't win 10 games. I believe in this coaching staff, man. There's no way the Giants should struggle unless they have catastrophic injuries. And the only way I see that they do struggle without injuries, of course being the main reason, is if the quarterback play just goes backwards. And I'm hoping and I'm anticipating it does not. I want to see progression. As any Giant fan knows, this season is key for Daniel Jones. You got paid, you got to make it worth it. You got to take us to another level, which means you got to take your play up. You got to join that top 10 tier because he's getting paid that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm tough on quarterbacks for the Giants, okay? You got to understand me. I lived through Sims, okay? And we struggled a long time to replace him. And then we got Kerry Collins for a few years, who had a couple of pretty good years, but he never could get us to that next level. And then Eli Manning played 17 years here and won 2 Super Bowls, okay? So I want to see Daniel Jones take a step, and we need him to, Giant fans. We need him to take a step. And if he does, we will be in the playoffs once again. I don't know about division. The Eagles got a pretty soft schedule the first half, so they're gonna be going for blood early, and they're a talented team. But if we can make that those 2 of the last 3 games stretch a pretty good, because we've got to play them 2 of the next 3 games there, and a playoff spot could be on the line. So let's see what happens. That could mean something for us. Let's see how it goes. I believe in the Giants. I think we're going to have a good year. My prediction is 10-7 in a playoff spot and second place, and we will sweep the Dallas Cowboys. There you go. That's my prediction. And we will split with the Eagles because we all know it's time to start beating those teams. Let's go, Giants. Start the season already. I'm ready, y'all. Born for Sports.